Watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
On first down, they'll start out with Singletary. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
Sometimes that's the danger of putting that jumbo set out there. You just get a lot of bodies massed in one location. You could wind up with 18, 20, maybe even all 22 in the box, and there's nowhere to run the football.
Second and 11. The Panther rush too strong. They get there and take him down. Shaq Thompson making his presence felt on the sack.
This is a little hard for me to compute because I'm watching sack after sack happen, but somehow they're still behind in the game. I would expect all of this defensive pressure to translate to them taking a lead, and thus far, it hasn't happened. Time's winding down. They don't want to waste this type of performance from these ace pass rushers.
Ritter and the Falcons need an answer, and a big play here on 3rd and long following the sack. And that's caught. It's Brian Edwards. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. It'll be a pickup of 16, but they'll remain short of the marker, and it's 4th down. Play clock down to 2, and we get a signal and a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. Here's Bradley Pinion now as he's on to punt for Atlanta. And we'll see what he can do on the return. So a change of possession here on the punt. And it will be the Panthers' ball, 1st and 10. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and
touchdown, Carolina. Chuba Hubbard, 70 yards. And the Panthers are able to make some inroads here to that deficit. This time, the extra point up and go. And the lead is trimmed down to 10. So the lead back down to 10 as things get a little more interesting, and the kick is away. Patterson going to bring this out of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. This now a 10-point game, so things tightening a little bit after that last score. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
Here's a 2nd and 7. And he will find Ridley. That's complete. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. but how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
They'll look to throw here on first down. And the ball is knocked out, and it's picked up by the Panthers. They find some open field here, and he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line.
I don't care what the scoreboard says, partner. You know who's winning this game right now?
Mother Nature?
Yes, indeed. Precipitation's winning in a big way. Sloppy, all these turnovers right now.
Yeah, well, this was the forecast. We got what was forecasted, and we've gotten a lot of turnovers. Now, after the fumble recovery, it's Wentz. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
They started this drive backed up against the wall by the turnover, but I love their fight. Planted their feet and forced the incompletion on first down.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. To throw, it's Wentz. And he's got the hook up to Moore. And he's going to be brought down at about the 16. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third. This offense so far on third down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. Here it's 3rd and 2. McCaffrey running up the middle. And he gets the first down yardage he needs before he's brought down at the 6. Got what they needed there. The drive continues with a 9-yard pickup. Now, yes, a 2-possession game, but a good chunk of time on the clock, so they have the ability still there to run it on 2nd and short, but maybe they need to pick it up a bit.
You're right. They did pick up the first down there, but as you mentioned, they have to pick up the pace now because it's a 2-possession game. They've got to get there twice to make sure they have a chance to win.
And it's incomplete, broken up. But there is a flag down. Let's see what that's about. Now, the offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted. Here's another 1st and goal, but from a little further back this time following the penalty. Now Wentz. This is caught. It's a big play, yet amazingly, because of how far they had to go, they're still looking at a 2nd down here.
Here we go.
It's a sneak. It's Wentz. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Now Wentz will keep it, and he'll get in. He's over for the touchdown. The sneak successful from a yard out, and the Panthers have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th. The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. From his end zone, here comes Patterson. About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line. Now, Charles, of course, you got to remember, last possession they fumbled. It led to a touchdown. 1-score game here. Got to be careful.
And this is where coaching and training really comes into play, doesn't it? What does everyone say after an error? Next play, move on, next drive. That mantra has to come to the front. They got to take care of business right here and act like the last series just didn't happen.
From the 28, it's 2nd and 5. On the handoff, it's Singletary. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. 2 straight runs of 5 yards, 1st and 10.
No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners.
And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Devin Singletary with his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Falcons use the big play to extend their 4th quarter lead. Koo able to connect on the extra point, and his guys will take a 10-point lead.
Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. And you figure after giving up that last touchdown, they trail by 2 scores here in the 4th quarter. This drive becomes very...
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today.
Picked off by A.J. Terrell. And the Falcons are going to take possession of the football. With the points that we've seen scored, neither defense has been at their best, but these guys have been a little bit better, Charles, and a nice interception there.
Yeah, you're right about that, Brandon. Let's face it. It's not always how you start, it's how you finish, right? So maybe you have a rough game all the way along, but if you make a big play like that at the right time, it can make everything turn out just okay.
And this will be caught by Edwards. And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And all the way to the 2-yard line there before crossing over out of bounds. A good pickup there, 21 yards. And looking to put this game on ice in the 4th quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy, throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out.
Algier is not going to get back to the line of scrimmage as they'll tackle him at the 3.
That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down.
This is where coaches have to spend a lot of time going over situations with their players, because him getting tackled there is not the worst thing in the world. You're going to run more plays, right? Clock's going to go.
Touchdown, Falcons!
From 3 yards out. And the Falcons look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this 4th quarter.
Extra point by Koo, up and good. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17.
Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33.
At their own 33-yard line.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive.
Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, it's a good way of pointing things out, because now it's not a total loss, because as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out-personnel. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Wentz.
And he fires one incomplete. Another throw there off the mark, and obviously he's battled all of the interceptions. Things just haven't been true to form for him. I don't know. What do you think's going on out there, CD?
That's a great question, and my suspicion is he's been coached really well to not show that he's having a problem. You know, they always tell you no matter what, you keep throwing the football with confidence. Well, we're not seeing a confident thrower right now. He's off balance, the passing game's off balance, and the defense is taking advantage. Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
Now Wentz, gotta have this one. And they work this well upfield across the 45. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on fourth. I'll tell you, far from ideal conditions to play in, but neither offense has had much trouble. Plenty of points to go around. 1st and 10. And down he goes. They bring down Wentz on the sack. That time, multiple defenders getting pressured, and it's a loss of 6. After the sack on 1st down, Wentz. And now here is another interception. Picked off by A.J. Terrell. And the Falcons are going to take over a couple of yards shy of midfield. Well, there's two sides to this coin. I mean, on one side, 5 interceptions now thrown for him. That's tough. But, man, this defense, they have been ball hawking and impressive. But, Charles, let's flip it back over. If you're coaching a quarterback that's struggling this much at this stage of the game, do you maybe try to get him out?
I would think about it, and I think about it awfully hard, but also you might want to look into his eyes, see what he has. He might be one of those players that you don't want to affect his confidence by actually pulling him out of the game. So you have to know your player, you have to know the situation.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. They're still throwing the football here, and obviously the incompletion stops the clock. That's a bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock moving, keep them moving.
I guess you're right. If they can get some 1st downs, just as good as running the football.
Well, so far in this drive, they've done some good work. They force incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure or do they play coverage on this down?
Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Edwards. 70th catch for him on the year. And like so many others, this goes for a 1st down. That one looks like he'll throw here. He's got his pass-catching tight end. That's Pitts. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. The Falcons going to use the 2nd of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomped down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football.
Okay, right.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10.
Check right.
Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. The incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise they're throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead, but I've seen this a bunch of times as well. The defense is going to crowd the line of scrimmage. If you just hand it off inside, you're getting your running back popped a lot as well. Sometimes the defense dictates it. If they're going to crowd it, you may have no other choice but to throw it downfield.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
Here comes the 7th play now of this drive as this is 3rd and 10. They'll look to throw again. And this is going to be intercepted.
It's C.J. Henderson picking it off. And the Panthers are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line.
This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. They can't do much at this point, partner. This one is going to go down in the loss column.
You don't make up for what has happened during the game. In this sequence here, maybe you hand it off and let someone run the ball if you so choose. But otherwise, just kneel down, call it a day, and try and prepare going forward.
Under pressure, they got him again. And now we'll get a timeout here. They're able to stop it with 1 second to go in this game.
Here we go.
One final try now for Wentz. And this is dropped and incomplete. Well, there's a metaphor for how this one is gone as time has run out on this ball game.
And as this defense walks off the field, they can do so with their heads held high. What a performance by the offense, too. I mean, really, Charles, just complete domination on both sides of the football here in this one.
Certainly was, and I think both sides compete against each other all the time. You go to each other in practice, obviously your training camps, your off-season. But on game day, you both want to show your best. And I think that's what we saw from both the offense and the defense, a complete team victory.
So for the Falcons, it's a rare peak in a season of valleys as they move to 3-12 now on the year. And they'll return home next week to take on the Jacksonville Jaguars. Meanwhile, for Carolina, they hit double digits in losses as they fall to 5-10. And they'll get a home date next week against the Minnesota Vikings.